Doctors used to kill their patients with their bare hands, just because they wouldn't wash them. It's 1847, and Ignaz Semmelweis, a young Hungarian doctor with a sharp mind and big ambitions, is starting his career at one of Vienna's busiest hospitals. He's just landed a position in the maternity ward, a place he expects to be filled with life, hope, and new beginnings. But what he finds instead shocks him. Women are coming in perfectly healthy, giving birth to their babies, and within days, they're dead. Row after row of mothers dying from this brutal illness called childbed fever. It's happening so often that the maternity ward looks more like a morgue. And the most disturbing part is that nobody knows why. The doctors have accepted it as a tragic part of childbirth, something that just happens without explanation. They aren't even questioning it. They're treating it like it's just part of life, or rather, part of death. And this is what Semmelweis can't understand. To him, it's a mystery that needs solving. He's not okay with just standing by and watching mothers die, one after another. As the days go by, he becomes more and more obsessed with figuring out what's going on. He studies every part of the ward, watching the nurses, doctors, and even the midwives to see if he can spot anything unusual. And that's when he notices something strange. The hospital has two separate maternity wards. In one, the deliveries are handled by doctors and medical students. In the other, it's the midwives taking care of the mothers. And here's the crazy thing. The death rate in the doctor's ward is sky high. In the midwives' ward, it's way lower. We're talking night and day difference. Semmelweis starts to think, what are the doctors doing differently? Why is this one ward a death trap, but not the other? He can't stop thinking about it, replaying every detail of what happens in both wards, trying to figure out what could possibly be causing this huge difference in death rates, but no matter how much he thinks, the answer just doesn't come. Then, one day, he notices something so glaringly obvious that he almost can't believe he missed it. The doctors and students, they're coming straight from the morgue, where they're dissecting dead bodies, and walking right into the delivery room. No hand washing, no cleaning up, nothing. They're literally carrying whatever's on those corpses right into the maternity ward. And Semmelweis feels this chill run down his spine as he realizes that they might be the ones spreading death from one room to the next. In his mind, he's asking himself, are we actually causing these deaths? Now, keep in mind, this is the 1840s. Nobody knows about germs or bacteria. People still believe in something called miasma, which means they think diseases come from bad air or unpleasant smells. The idea that invisible germs could be causing disease isn't even on the radar yet, but Ignaz doesn't need a microscope to see that there's a connection here. He decides to run a test, even if it sounds crazy to everyone else. He orders everyone in the doctor's ward to start washing their hands with a chlorine solution before they go anywhere near a patient. Chlorine is strong stuff. It's enough to get rid of the smell of death that's lingering on their hands. Ignaz figures if it can do that, maybe it'll stop whatever is killing these mothers. And then, something amazing happens. The death rate in the doctor's ward drops dramatically. It's like a night and day transformation. Mothers stop dying. It's as if he's watching a miracle unfold before his eyes. Ignaz realizes he's stumbled upon something huge. Just by washing their hands, they're saving lives. For Ignaz, this is a revelation. He thinks, this is it. I've found the answer to one of the biggest medical mysteries of our time. So, with the proof right in front of him, Ignaz rushes to tell his colleagues. He's thinking they're going to be thrilled. Maybe he'll even get a little recognition for his discovery. But here's where things take a wild turn. Instead of celebrating, his colleagues are insulted. They're taking it personally, as if he's accusing them of being filthy or careless. Their egos can't handle the idea that they might have been the ones responsible for all these deaths. To them, Ignaz is the problem, not their practices. And so, instead of adopting his life-saving method, they start calling him crazy, laughing at him, shutting him down. Ignaz is devastated. He has results, solid results, that prove his theory, and yet no one will listen. He watches mothers die every day, knowing he has the solution, but his colleagues just won't budge. He feels like he's watching a nightmare play out in front of him, day after day, knowing he could stop it but isn't allowed to. Desperate, Ignaz goes from hospital to hospital, practically begging them to try hand washing. He's pleading, almost losing his mind trying to convince people, but the more he pushes, the harder people push back. They start treating him like he's lost it, a man obsessed with this bizarre idea of hand washing. To them, he's just a lunatic with a strange obsession, a guy who can't let go of this one crazy idea. As the months pass, Ignaz's frustration eats away at him. He becomes consumed by his mission to save lives, but it's tearing him apart. He's losing sleep, losing friends, and eventually, he starts losing his sanity. His behavior becomes erratic, and his colleagues? They take advantage of it. They start whispering, calling him unstable, and before long, they decide he's truly gone mad. In the ultimate betrayal, they have Ignaz Semmelweis committed to an asylum. The man who discovered how to save lives ends up locked away, treated like a madman. And here's the twist of fate. While he's in that asylum, Ignaz dies from sepsis, from an infection, the same type of infection he'd spent his life trying to prevent. His own colleagues' refusal to listen to him led to his downfall. It's the ultimate tragic irony. Decades later, when germ theory finally takes hold, thanks to scientists like Louis Pasteur and Joseph Lister, the medical world realizes that Ignaz was right all along. They even give him a nickname, the Savior of Mothers, the doctor who changed the course of medical history with a simple idea. But in his own time, he was just the crazy hand-washing doctor who lost everything for telling the truth. Has anyone ever doubted you when you knew you were right? Let me know in the comment section. Like and follow for more videos like this.